Shoes. Recorded live.
Welcome to Freedom Fighters for America Radio. And now our introduction. Welcome to the Take Back America series with Independence. I'm your host, and also hosting is Bad Baby. We have a good show for you tonight. Sit back and try to relax. I know it's going to be kind of difficult with the information that we put out here. We expose crime and corruption. We're located at www.freedomfightersforamerica.com. Listener supported, and that means you. If you can make a donation, please go to our donation page on the website, and that would be greatly appreciated to keep this information and this show going. We have a lot of information tonight. Basically, we're going to start our discussion off with gang stalking and some of the other types of criminal activity that are being perpetrated on American citizens. But first, I'd like to play this little audio for you. It comes from two people who were around during the time of the Church Committee hearings. That's Walter Mondale. He was a former vice president, and Walter Huddleston, who was also a senator during the course of that time. So I hope you find this very interesting, and hopefully some of you people out there that don't believe that your government is targeting you, maybe this will shed some light.
COINTELPRO, where they had targeted thousands and thousands of people for investigation based on no violation of the law.
But the fact that the United States government of America would call in two mafia people to help us eliminate some guy illegally by murder because we disagreed with him is the kind of thing we were confronted with almost across the board during this investigation. The major.
Now, just to stop this tape for a minute, here is a senator admitting that the U.S. government was using the mob, the mafia, in conjunction with murders on American citizens. And there was no further investigation, ladies and gentlemen, none. That means that there were no criminals prosecuted for murder, for harassment, or for anything else. Let's just continue here.
Part of what we covered was activities against American citizens in this country. And it was very extensive and beyond what most people even realize today.
Yes, I think we were all surprised by the magnitude and the depth of what we saw. If I can just say this, we need a strong FBI. We need a strong CIA and an NSA. We have enemies.
Do we have a strong FBI, CIA, and NSA? Sure, they're real strong. They're targeting American citizens and people around the world using these types of criminal activity. Bad Baby, over to you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Welcome, everybody, to the call tonight. Now, I know a lot of the information we're going to put out here is going to seem a little overwhelming, and please don't let it overwhelm you. We're just trying to get out the facts. Gang stalking is a systematic form of control which seeks to destroy every aspect of a targeted individual's life. A covert investigation is opened, and a target is followed around 24/7 by civilian spies and snitches. Overt and covert methods are used as part of the surveillance process. The informants can be part of these community-oriented policing programs, but often they are just average citizens. Just like the COINTELPRO investigations, everyone in the targeted life is contacted and asked to be part of the ongoing, never-ending monitoring systematic harassment, which is designed to destroy the target over the years and leave them with no form of support. Gang stalking is a covert investigation that is opened on an individual. This individual is then placed under overt and covert forms of surveillance. The person is followed around 24/7. Foot patrols and vehicle patrols are used to follow the individual around as part of the monitoring process. During these patrols, one hand signs is used to assist the citizen informants with communicating to each other. Gang stalking is also a systematic form of control which seeks to control every aspect of a targeted individual's life. Gang stalking has many similarities to workplace mobbing, but takes place outside in the community. It is called gang stalking because the target is followed around and placed under intrusive and directive surveillance by groups of organizations, covert human intelligence sources, also known as citizen informants, 24/7, using anti-terror laws to spy on ordinary people. Many targeted individuals are harassed and placed under surveillance in this way for months or even years before they realize they are being targeted by an organization protocol of harassment. What happens during this gang stalking surveillance is very similar to what happens to many innocent individuals in former East Germany or activists and dissidents in Russia. Many innocent people in the former East Germany would be targeted for these harassment programs, and then their friends, family, and the community at large would be used to monitor, prosecute, and harass them. In Russia, it was used by a state to declare activists, dissidents, or anyone they thought would be an enemy of the state as mentally unfit, and many are institutionalized using these forms of systematic control. Now, I'd like to stop here for a minute because there are very many targets that have called Chris and I that is one of the forms that they use is the institutionalization, and what they do is they harass the targets and they make them keep calling the police, and the police become a big part of this where they label the target and they get you into an institution and they slap a label on you. So this is something that many targets that are just becoming aware of what's going on should be very cautious about calling into law enforcement. The closest thing to gang stalking that democratic countries have seen before this is McCarthyism, COINTELPRO, and Red Squad programs. Red Squad programs were used for monitoring and harassment of various groups. They have been in place for over hundreds of years, and they also employ covert human intelligence sources. Civilian spies, also known as covert human intelligence sources, are recruited from every level of the sector of society. Just like with COINTELPRO investigations, everyone in the target's life is made a part of this ongoing, never-ending, systematic psychological harassment and manipulation of the target. These actions are specifically designed to control the target, to keep them in line. These actions also are designed to destroy the target over years and make them look crazy and leave them with no form of support. For the targets of this harassment, gang stalking is an experience as a covert psychological, emotional, and physical attack that is capable of immobilizing and destroying a target over time. For the state, it's a way to keep a target in line and control them and destroy them. Worldwide programs of control and conformity have been used with equal success and lethality. What we are seeing now is a global, coordinated, and organized effort of control and conformity. Many countries around the world are currently using a model of policing called community-oriented policing. It's described as a systematic approach to policing. It focuses on installing a sense of community within the local neighborhood. Communities come together and discuss what values they would like to have in their community development, and it is also a time to discuss any problems that may be happening in a specific area. If a problem is identified, an investigation might be opened. These local programs in many countries have been forming partnerships with other governments, running programs at state and federal levels. Reports of gang stalking are not only coming into the democratic countries, but they are coming in from many other countries